Hello everyone, so let's start with enumerate function today. We've covered functions in the last video. So in this video what we're going to do is we're going to study some built-in functions in Python. So we're going to start with the enumerate function. What it does is it adds index to any iterable or sequence that we pass into it. Okay, before reading all this, let's just quickly see an example. I'm going to quickly make a list with a couple of fruits in it. Okay, let's take just 3 fruits only. Okay, then I'm going to create is an enumerate object. Okay, so there are 2 parameters. You can see here syntax. We have 2 parameters. First is the iterable, which is the list. We can pass to the tuple also, and the second is start. Where do you want to start? So let's start with the basic. Let's do without using the start function. So let's see what default is. So if I print the enumerate, what we get? We will get an object because it returns an object. To see what's the content inside it, what we need to do is we're going to do is for index comma fruits in en. I've passed enumerate object, print okay. Oh, there's an error, syntax error. See, 0 so it assigns 0, so the start by default is 0. Okay, so let's just say I don't want. What it did was it assigned indexes or numbers to each object, each value in list. So let's just tell it to start from 10. See, 10, 11, 12. So it is going to start from 10. This is what an enumerate object does. Okay, so we use it when we have to, we have to do iteration, but we also want their index. So when index and the value both are equally important, then we use enumerate function. It's a very easy function. Okay, so moving on, the next function we have is zip. So what zip does is it takes multiple iterables as the inputs and it converts a zip object that has all of those iterables in a single tuple, in tuples. Okay, to understand this better, let's just use it. Okay, so I'm going to create one more list. First we created that fruit list, no? So I'm going to copy this one only. This is the first list. Let's say the second list we're going to have is B, A and O. Okay, random list. Okay, there's no particular significance of this list. So let's just create a zip object. Okay, so zip lsd, lsd2. Okay, so this returns a zip object, but if we want to see what values we have in here, okay, so let's just pass these values into a dictionary. Okay, so what we're going to do is, I did not create any object, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to pass this as it is. Now I'm going to do is I'm going to print. So see, I passed this first, so this is the key and this is the value. Okay, we can use this for creating the dictionary also, right? So what it does is it takes these two and it converts them into tuple. Okay, we have to see how it converts them into tuple, no? For x in this. Okay, see, so this creates a tuple. Okay, by default it creates a tuple. If we add more the iterables, it will create that many values in a single tuple. Okay, right now we passed only two list, two iterables, so it has only two values in one iterable. Okay, there's different ways to unpack this. Okay, this is packed, right? This is only the object that we get, right? This is a zip object. To unpack it, there's one more. We can unpack it like this way also, but there's one more way. List 3 comma list 4 is equal to, now what we're going to do is we're going to convert the zip object into list. Okay, what's the issue? Let me create an object only. This is going to make it easy. Let me just quickly figure out what's the error. This error has probably arisen due to any flaw in the system running, because the code is absolutely correct. I've checked it everywhere, and the values are also equal. This has also 3 elements. This also has 3 elements. So the code is absolutely correct. I'll just figure out what the problem is and we'll let you know in a bit of time. Okay, so before moving on to zip longest, I want to show you one more thing. Okay, let me just copy this. Okay, herein we have three objects in both the list. Okay, suppose I add one more. Okay, now if I run this and if I let me just use the for loop for okay, see, it only showed 3, it did not show 4, because if the length is not same, it only works until the length is same. Okay, here the length is 4, here the length is 3, so it's going to stop on the lower length, right? So the lower is 3, so it is going to stop on after assigning the 3 of the list one's value. Okay, so it stopped on banana, it won't go to the pineapple. To solve this issue, we have zip longest. Okay, so this is something that we import from a module. What is a module? We're going to cover that later. For now, we're just quickly going to see what zip longest is. Okay, so let's quickly take the list that we have and apply the zip longest function. Okay, going to copy the same code. Okay, now I'm going to add a pineapple and see, it by default added a none. Suppose I don't want it to add none, so I have a parameter in it that says fill value, and we can add any value that we want. Suppose I want to add fruit. Okay, it is going to add fruit to every null value. Okay, suppose I'm going to add so herein we have 3 extra values. Okay, see, so it is going to add fruit to every extra value it has. Okay, but if I don't want to add fruit, I'm going to add like anything. I can add null. Okay, so this is what zip longest does. Okay, I will check this why this error has occurred, and if the code runs after shutting off the system, I'm going to show you in the next video. So moving on, let's start with the eval function. The eval function is also a very powerful function in Python. It is used, when we have to do mathematical calculations or data processing, or when we have to take the input from the user and process it, or generate output dynamically. Then we use eval. But we have to use this function very, very, carefully or with caution, because the input source should be trusted. Otherwise, it can, hamper our the working of our entire program. So it is powerful, very powerful tool, but we should use it with caution. Let's just quickly see. It takes expression in strings. Okay, so let's just say and let's just say, let's give the value of a is equal to 10. Okay, right? So it takes these expressions and it executes. That's the only thing it does. It's very, very easy, but we should know when to use it. Whenever we want to get input from the user and process it dynamically, that time we use eval function. But we have to use it only when the input giving person or the user is trusted. Okay, next is lambda function. Lambda function is also very, very easy function. In this, we create a function without using the definition def keyword. Okay, so let's just create a lambda function of, okay, these are the parameters, right? We used to pass those parameters, right? You remember? And it takes only one expression. Okay, we cannot write x plus y, then one more thing or addition or multiple line code. We cannot write only one expression. We can write. Okay, so let's just quickly use this. Okay, this is how we use it. Okay, it's a single line function. It takes parameters before the semicolon, and it takes only one expression here. Okay, it is also, its best uses when we use it in another function anonymously, then it is used in its best capacity. Rest, it is a very, very easy function. It has everything similar to the function except the syntax, and it takes only one expression. That's the only difference. That's the lambda function. We're done with the different functions. In the next video, we're going to cover a couple of more functions. Okay, so see you in the next video. Thank you so much. See you again.